All right, we're live. We just noticed we picked the matching outfits today, so you were already in sync. Like I can't wait to talk hoops with you because if we can just match the outfits without planning, we're already like 10 steps ahead.
Yes. Let's see. I'm just pulling up the live stream on Twitter just to see what it looks like.
Yeah, make sure we're there. I mean, that's a great call. I haven't done that yet, so I hopefully we're where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
Hey, look at that technology. Good things are happening, right? So here's how I want to start this. All right. I haven't given you any notes. Like you have no idea what's coming other than we're gonna talk college hoops, right? Like because
Yep.
it's February and February is a short month, and that means March is right around the corner. We're like 2 weeks from March, and that like if that doesn't say college hoops to you, like what are you even doing, right? Like that's college hoops time. But before we do that, tell us who you are, tell us where we find you, tell us why we should care what you have to say. What's your record like? You know, all that good stuff. Tell us a little bit about you real quick.
All right. So I am Bet Sharper. You can find me on TikTok and Twitter. I used to go live streaming pretty much daily on TikTok, but the algorithm has kind of changed over there. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to broadcast to you guys if you're aware of that. It's been about 3-4 months of that, kind of struggling. Hopefully we can get that going back because it's really fun. But now I'm kind of on Twitter mostly making content for you guys, ladder challenges, free picks. Why trust me? I did have my record for Lewis. Where was it? It is. So college basketball. Yes. Yeah. So I basically do strictly minus 110 sides and totals. It's 168 and 133. Might not seem that impressive, but it's 16.2 units, 1 unit per game. So essentially, if you're betting $100 a game, you're up $1,600 on the college basketball season. Why trust me in the back end? Also, just my history. I have a master's degree in data science. So what I do is basically just modeling. It's just black and white, hardcore numbers. I do watch a lot of the games, like very, very strictly on baseball and college basketball as well. But it's really kind of just black and white numbers. And I know that's kind of boring, but that's what wins. So that's what I do.
Data scientist. So you're like way smarter than me. Like I already way respect that.
I'm good at math. I'm not good at everything else.
I'm a former musician, so anything beyond counting to 4, like I'm already in trouble. So like that's great that you're using numbers, and I think facts are better than opinion, right? Like if you can use some data, you're already winning.
But yeah, and understanding basketball and understanding other sports will help your handicapping process as well. But I think it gets kind of overblown. Like, do you know ball or do you not know ball? It's not necessarily a requirement to be a professional, like a sharp sports bettor and win money. So, yeah.
And if I remember this correctly, tell me if I'm wrong, but like probably with all this data and all this, you're a big value hunter. Is that right? Like, isn't that a lot of what you do? Like we're gonna talk a lot of top 25, but you're not always looking top 25, are you?
Typically not. No.
What do you look for? Like, where do you find yourself?
I found myself in the MAC, the Ohio Valley Conference, a lot this year. The Horizon League a lot, which I'm sure you're aware of. Yeah.
As I say, I'm a Horizon League guy, which not too many people just come in and are like, I love the Horizon League, but that's what I do. Like, I love it. Unfortunately, no Horizon League on the slate tomorrow. They were yesterday, they're Sunday, so we can't quite nerd out over Horizon League, but that's okay.
Yeah. Really, I don't know. ACC, I haven't really done a whole lot of that. SEC, kind of, a lot of Big Ten. It's just whatever is showing as value, and it's kind of up to the books to give me that. If they're going to show me value on this, I'll take it. If they don't, I won't take it. So
all right, so we're recording on Friday, so we're really looking at the Saturday slate. And luckily, I mean, outside of the weird leagues that you and I kind of love, there's a huge Saturday slate. There's a lot of good games. I'm just looking ahead. I was like, all right, what are we going to talk about? And I started looking. I was like, oh, there's a lot to dive in here. Like, so we'll try to kind of work through. I'm going to let you talk. No one wants to hear me talk. They're here to listen to you, but I'll help guide you a little bit. How about that?
Yeah, well, yeah, feel free to talk as much as you can. I might be boring. We'll see.
We'll see. I bet between the two of us, we can be at least somewhat interesting and probably provide a little bit of good insight, especially you. You've got the data, and that's the thing. I'm just a talk guy. You've got the numbers, and that's even more important. Is there anywhere you want to start, or you want me just kind of start talking games at you? What's best for Bet Sharper?
Yeah, go ahead. Pick any games. Could be high quality, low quality.
All right, so I'm going to start with because I'm going to behind the scenes I'm cheating. I'm going just through ESPN because they're going to kind of break it down by time. So we're starting at the 10 a.m. slate in my time. I'm in Mountain Time, right? So it's probably what, like 11 for Central, noon Eastern, right? Noon Eastern. We're tipping Clemson and Duke. That's a two top 25 teams right there. What are your thoughts? I've got Duke minus 11.5 is what I'm seeing. So what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, my model's showing 11, so 78 to 67. So I'm probably going to stay off that one. But just contextually speaking, Duke coming off that awful loss up against North Carolina, and they did bounce back and beat, I believe it was Pittsburgh. But now back at home versus Clemson. I don't know if they faced each other yet this year. It's another factor to always look at, the revenge factor. But I don't really see a whole lot here. I do have Duke as my number 3 power ranked team between Arizona and UConn. And then North Carolina is all the way down at where are they here? All the way down at 25. So yeah, that was kind of an anomaly that the Tar Heels were able to pull that one off. But probably leaning Duke here. You give them more of a home court advantage as well. Usually that's between like 2 and 4 points. Duke has one of the best home court advantages. So.
And you're a big over-under guy. I'm seeing over-under at 133.5. I love over-under because I don't like to bet on teams personally. What are your thoughts? I'm seeing 133.5.
133.5. Wow.
That's what ESPN's showing me.
Wow. Yeah. So 78 to 67 is that's 145. That's what I'm showing. So right now I like the over.
You like the over?
Typically I'm looking for at least a 6-point discrepancy, which can guarantee me that I probably have some expected value. Because totals can be wonky with how game flow goes. Duke being an 11-point favorite, they could blow them out. They could slow the game down. But still, that is a big discrepancy. So I'm definitely leaning over right now.
And I mean, again, you're smarter than me. But I think Duke, coming off, you mentioned that North Carolina loss. I almost feel like Duke's just going to come out and they're not letting off that gas. They're not slowing it down. They're just out to show it was a fluke and pound it a little bit.
Yeah, pressure's on them to keep the 1 seed in the tournament. They're projected to be the 1 seed. They're 4th ranked. If they lose another game here, well, especially to Clemson, they would drop out. So, yeah.
All right. So, anything else? I'm just going to kind of keep us moving. You sound good?
Yep.
All right, because this is what people want. They want to hear what Bet Sharper thinks about some of these games. I've got UCLA Michigan as my next, which is still weird to me because I'm from Michigan originally. That this is a Big Ten matchup is never going to feel right to me, but Big Ten matchup here. You've got this Michigan team, which is probably about to be the number 1 team in the country, barring anything weird happening here, with Arizona losing. We'll talk about Arizona in a minute. But Michigan, UCLA, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, 85-71. So Michigan by 14. Looks like the line is 16.5. So it's an immediate lean to UCLA. Everyone, of course, is just going to be betting these high-ranked teams. This is what they do. UCLA kind of boring, underperforming team this year compared to what I was expecting them to be. Obviously, what Michigan has done lately, they did lose that game to Wisconsin, but since they've been just rolling teams, public will be interested in that, of course. They are the number 1 team in the country. I would argue better than Arizona. So, yeah, give me UCLA. That's a big number there.
Big number. And, we mentioned the Horizon League thing. And, when I see teams like Michigan, my contribution is that they blew out my team to start the season. They started the season with Oakland. And so when I see Michigan now, that's all I see. So, I see – 16.5. All right. I think Michigan, again, kind of like Duke, where they got to prove, they feel not only that they have to win, but prove it. I could see them blowing this game wide open. I don't know if there's a prop bet on like Cronin flagrant technical fouls here, but I don't know. I could see it,
Yeah. I just think the public is going to see this as a short number because Michigan, when they win by 20 or more. You just saw what they did against Northwestern. They were down 12 in like the 10 minutes to go, and then they won by 13. It's just it can happen so quick with that offense, best offense. So yeah, I like UCLA there.
He's got a good team going there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Moving right along, another two top 10 teams. I've got Kansas and Iowa State at Iowa State, 1 o'clock Eastern. ISU minus 5.5. Total is, I see the total at 141.5.
This is going to be Iowa State all day, even with Darren Peterson playing, which I would expect him to. You don't really ever know, but 78-71 Iowa State, that's a win by 7 there. And then Kansas coming off beating Arizona with no Darren Peterson. Line went from minus 130 on the money line to minus 230 We got 100 points of CLV on Arizona, and we've lost. That one hurt. But if Darren Peterson doesn't play, this line is going to go up to 8-9. If he does play, it'll probably stick at 5.5. But that's Iowa State 100% for me because, let's see, just in terms of power rankings as well, I think Iowa State's just better than Kansas. Yeah, I got Iowa State at 10 and Kansas at 13. But I think the general public is going to disagree with that based off of what just happened 2 days ago or 3 days ago, whatever it was. So, yeah.
I've got nothing on that. This is where this is like, yeah, we're gonna listen to you because I'm stupid on this stuff. So I love that breakdown there.
You're gonna see a bunch of like Twitter cappers on Iowa State tomorrow. I think it's the right side as of right now. So,
well, another team moving on to the next one that you just mentioned because they were up on Michigan getting into that second half and then they dropped it. We've got Northwestern at Nebraska, which Nebraska's a basketball school. Who knew?
They are, yeah, and they've been banged up too, and they're still really good.
I'm not seeing a line currently because again we're recording on Friday, getting into Saturday games here. So, but tell us your thoughts. What you're seeing Nebraska Northwestern.
Yeah, they posted at 13.5 on Caesars. It looks like my model shows 12, so it's gonna be Northwestern for me right now. In terms of just talent, I think Nebraska's a really good team, but they're just playing over their head. They're one of the luckiest teams in the country as well, I believe. Yeah, they're the number 7 luckiest of 366 or whatever it is. This team is just due for regression. They simply are. The public is not going to agree with that. Northwestern now almost beating Michigan. If they did beat Michigan, this line would be a lot tighter. They did not. It was very obvious in that second half that Northwestern's not a good basketball team. But still, I do lean Northwestern. Yes, Frager, Mast are going to be in for Nebraska. They were out. So that's kind of deflating their line there, but I still lean Northwestern here for sure.
And I think that, again, no one cares what I think, but I think Northwestern kind of gets a little deflated after, they had Michigan on the ropes for a moment and then not only to lose, but to lose, fairly substantially. I don't see them coming back on that. Like, I think that's almost like the nail in the coffin for the season for them,
It's going to be hard for them to get back up against Nebraska because clearly they're the big underdog, but they were like minus 400 money line in the second half and they got crushed. So I don't know. I guess it does feel deflating for them, but I feel like they have the ability to hang in there in this game. So
how's your Big East? Your models in the Big East because we're going St. John's Providence here.
Yeah, hard to win on the road in the Big East. They always say that. St. John's such a weird team too. Let's take a look.
The number 17 team in the country right now. Which all right, like I don't get a vote. No one cares what my vote is.
Yeah, let's see what I got it at. Probably close. It's 20, so I'm right there with that. But let's take a look at where they were a while ago. I can see. Yeah, they were dropping hard to begin the season. I had them down at 52 originally on November 25th, and then they got as high as the 11th best team on January 1st. Now they've settled at 20. So just like a high variance, talented team up against Providence. I've got that at 87-78. So that's a 9-point line. They have 8.5. That's probably fair. Providence, they were ranked earlier as well. That team has been in free fall mode.
4-10 in the Big East.
Yeah, they were due for regression, and here it is. They're really not that talented, but high scoring always typically lean to the favorite off the bat too. So this is 50-50. I don't like this one.
You wouldn't touch it, huh?
Don't think so. I don't think so.
I think Big East basketball is just always kind of like its own little anomaly of like, what do you do with it?
It's just very high variance too. So you have UConn, you have St. John's, then it falls off. Like Creighton has been awful. Marquette's just awful. And then you got like the middling schools like Butler and, it's just weird, kind of a weird conference.
I agree. And it feels like, you mentioned Butler and it feels like the Big East kind of collected all these teams that had some moments, but then it's like, now what? Things have changed and now what? So it's a weird league to figure out what's happening, I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So another league that, all these leagues kind of start to get a little bit weird, but how about some SEC? I don't think we've done any of that. We've got the 19th ranked Vanderbilt team hosting Texas A&M here.
Yeah, I think off the rip, it's A&M for me, but let's see.
And I don't have lines for everything. I've got some coming up, but
Yeah,
nothing on this one.
it shows 7, and I also project 7, which sucks. But Miles still not in for Vanderbilt. They're banged up. A&M, they're talented. This is, I think the computers might be missing the fact that Miles is going to be out. A&M was supposed to be a ranked team. They're not a ranked team. Kind of buying them at the bottom of the market. People are going to see it as a short line at home, ranked Vandy. I do lean A&M. Probably bet it to like 5.5. It's 7 right now. So yeah.
Both. I mean, it's a good SEC matchup. Both teams at 7-4. You know, both trying to just kind of find that footing, getting into tournament time here. So
yeah, I don't really like Vanderbilt. I don't. They have a lot of flaws. That let's see where I got them powered at 27, and they're the number 19 team. So I'm much lower.
You're lower. I just love though that anything we talk about here, I can hear you typing, and you're just like you've got your data running, like you've got numbers, man. I love it.
Yeah, I got my 6 tabs open like always. Yep.
That's it. Only 6. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, team we've mentioned a couple times already. We've got Pittsburgh going to North Carolina. Pittsburgh is just not a good team this year. I feel like as a department, like the entire athletic department of Pittsburgh just kind of spiraling right now, and it's bled into basketball.
Yeah.
What are you seeing here? What are you thinking? Do you touch it? Do you not? You know, you've got, like you said, North Carolina having just beaten Duke, but then they're weird team too. But I mean, they're the 11th ranked team in the country right now.
Yeah, historically, betting North Carolina here isn't profitable. It's just, again, you're buying them at the top of the market for the most part. I don't think that they should not be the 11th best team in the country, at least ranked that way. 79 to 69 is what the model shows. So it's pretty much in line with what Vegas says. And that's going to be the case for most of these games. It's Pittsburgh though. It's going to be Pittsburgh or nothing. Just if you just don't have a model, or if you're kind of just guessing, North Carolina coming off that huge win, Pittsburgh has been free falling. Like you said, it's just the better time to buy Pittsburgh. It's gross, but that's just how betting works, you know? So
you would take Pittsburgh here.
Yeah, that's a lean. I don't know if I'm going to actually put money on it, but we're leaning that way.
That's tough to say. I could see you, like, you struggled to like say the words out loud. So I get it though. Cause it's like
disgusting. Yeah.
They're not a good team. They're in trouble, but yeah, there might be some value there for sure.
They've been really unlucky though. Yeah. They're number 348 out of 365 luck. So like what we see is a really bad team, but under the surface, they're a little better than that. So
do you have your own models for luck, or are you using Ken Palm for luck? What are you using?
I'm using team rankings for luck.
Team rankings.
It's just essentially point differential scaled to your strength of schedule, and then it just compares your expected record to your current record. So
it's crazy, like, to think that we have the ability, like even 10 years ago, to like try to figure out luck in teams, but like that's where we're at, right? Like numbers are crazy. That's why we're talking to you, because you're college basketball and numbers guy, and I think it's really interesting. I think people can take a lot from this, you know?
Yeah. I look at it from a very non-biased point of view. I don't have any favorite teams. I just look at it just the raw data.
Isn't that probably like the best way to go about it though? You don't have a rooting interest, you know?
Yeah. From what I've seen from people, it's the people that have no favorite team or favorite players, I guess you could say, like, those are the ones that actually tend to be not profitable, because they let their biases creep in, and they let their confirmation biases rise to the top when it's not even correct. So, yeah.
Love it. Well, we talked about how Pittsburgh's not a good team, and it was something we didn't want to talk here. I'll give you 2 top 25 teams. We've got Kentucky recently back into the top 25, going to Florida. This is a fun one. I like that. I don't know how I feel about betting. I'm seeing Florida minus 11.5. We got the total at 152.5. I'm not sure what I'm betting here. That's why you're here, but this is a game I want to watch, you know?
Yeah, that total is literally wrong. That is going to steam up very quickly here. I have it at 164, so 12 points higher again. Kentucky, really good shot quality team. Like Mark Pope, when he was at BYU, turned them into a shot quality demon offensively, and we saw what happened with their offense. And then Florida, just super fast paced. Kentucky's been trying to slow it down with the injuries they've had. Hasn't really worked, but Florida just running up and down the court. That it's the over, and then probably Florida in the over too.
Yeah.
Kentucky, they did hit their peak late December, and they've been kind of falling again. They've been winning, but falling. They've been winning just these close games, getting lucky these last few weeks. I think Florida could just blow them out. I think Florida's my number 5 team, and they're ranked 14th. So, yeah.
So you're big Florida guy, but especially you like that over right now.
Florida in the over. I think Florida could score 90 pretty easy, 90 in this game fairly easily. So, yeah.
Kentucky's going to struggle to keep up, but they're going to have to try. And yeah, you're going to get that. You're going to get totals heading upwards real quick.
Yeah. And Kentucky they don't care about defense. I don't know what it is. They just don't. Their offense isn't good enough for them not to care about defense.
You know what it is they're still reeling from Jack Golke time. Or at least that's what I say as an Oakland fan. I don't know. It might be related. It might not be. I'm not sure, but that's how I feel.
My college roommate is a massive Kentucky fan, so we're talking all the time about them, and he's excited about what they've been doing recently, but he acknowledges that there are so many flaws.
They're kind of they're just rebuilding off of Calipari. It's a weird place, I'm sure. Yeah. But another team, I've gotten a chance to watch this team live this year. And my God, do they play defense, and they just work hard. And so this is Kansas State going to Houston.
Yeah, they do. I have not seen them in person, but
I did have. That was a November trip for me to watch Oakland lose to Houston at Houston. And what a great game to watch, and just watching Kelvin Sampson's team, they just outworked everybody. It was really fun to watch them.
Yeah, if you can't play defense, you're not going to go play for the Cougars. That's for sure.
No.
Let's see. We got Houston by 20. Line is 22.5. The only issue is that the Houston's team total is projected at 85. That is really high for a Houston team that is not offensively like elite. So if you're projecting 85 on average, and then you just strip the fact that their defense is wild, this could be a 30-point blowout very easily. This is going to be a high variance game, 100%. Again, so it's between 20 and 30 is what's going to happen, which means it's going to be Houston for me. K-State, they just stink. They're just bad too. So
just a real bad Big 12 team, 1-10, and that's it sounds like at that point you kind of know what the outcome's going to be, but it's like where are those lines going to be at to see is there anything there for you?
Yeah, 22.5 seems fair. Lean Houston though. I mean, yeah.
This is a weird team. You see them talked about a lot here. You've got Colorado going to BYU. What do you do with BYU right now?
Man, when they have one of the most talented players, just can't finish games. Colorado stinks though too. BYU hit their peak early January. They're in free fall. This would be the moment to buy them. On paper, very talented. For me, they're number 16. For them, they're 22. They did win last game, but there was a chance for them to lose their 5th straight game in a row. They finally pulled away. But yeah, BYU, I think, let's see, 88-74. So yeah, BYU would be the lean there against the spread as well. Another high scoring game where you immediately lean the favorite. Tempo means more possessions, means the favorite is going to be able to pull away easier. Just because of a per possession standpoint, BYU is much better than Colorado. So yeah, BYU in a pretty good spot here.
And I'm going to put words in your mouth, which is never fair. It's not a good thing to do. Did you kind of insinuate they might have the player of the year, in your opinion?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It'd be Peterson if he actually played, but yeah.
Awesome. Just going to keep clipping along. I'm loving this. I hope you are. Like, I hope anyone listening is like, it's so cool to watch just kind of your mind run through this stuff, man. Like, I'm sure this is what you do every day. This is what people, when they subscribe to you, are getting. Like, yeah. But to watch you do it live is really fun. Like, I'm ready to subscribe to you now, because I'm like, okay, this is not just some dude sitting there going, yeah, I like this one. No, you're running numbers. You don't care about any of these teams in the best way possible. I love it.
No, in the morning, I get up really early. I run through these. I compare the models line to the Vegas line, and then I look for other contextual clues as well. So it takes a while. Yeah.
How you feel about Louisville going to Baylor?
Oh man, Baylor's just bad. I don't like Baylor. 84-76. That's a Louisville lean. Now, you're going to see a lot of people that are probably going to argue that Baylor would be the side here just because they get that extra home court advantage with a ranked team coming to town, which does happen. Yes, you can give them maybe an extra point max, but people argue like 2, 3, 4 points. No, it's not the truth. So it's going to be Louisville here for me. Their offense could just blow Baylor out. Another team that peaked early January, and they've been in free fall, at least in the metrics, not in the win-loss column. But, yeah, Louisville just way more talented.
It's just going to come down to where you can find that line. I think, like you said, like I think the outcome's pretty well determined. Just where do you find it, and is it worth touching?
Yeah, I mean, the difference between +5.5 and +7.5 is really big. So you're basically just trying to find the average outcome, look for other clues around it that can maybe change your model's output a little bit compared to the line. And yeah, it's up to the market. If they gave me Baylor +10.5, I would love that. Louisville at -110 on the money line, I would love that. So yeah.
I love just the way you like I said, the way you think about it and getting to watch just kind of your mind, your work through this stuff. I love it, man. Here's a fun team. I like this team. Having a little bit of a down streak right now, but Purdue going to Iowa. I think Purdue is actually probably a top 7 or 8 team in the nation right now. They're just not playing like it, so they're ranked a little bit lower, but I think
7.
they've got a lot of pieces.
Yeah, 7 for me. And then Iowa. Iowa's a fun team because they just completely rehauled their roster, new coach, new players. They're at 27. I agree. It's probably going to be Purdue here. It seems really square. 75-72, Purdue by 3. Seems really square. It's going to be a tough spot for Purdue. You're probably going to see a lot of Twitter cappers who don't really know what they're doing on Iowa tomorrow. But yeah, Purdue for me.
Purdue for you. And I'm seeing a total for tomorrow at 139.5. So you've got both teams at the 70s. So
7. Yeah. So I got 147. So I'm definitely higher. Yep. And at this point in the season, you can pretty much trust the model very tightly just because we're at such a sample size now that with pace, it's standardized. So you know how Iowa slowed things down with their new coach. And the market is adjusting for that, but I believe that my model has also adjusted for that, and it's adjusted too much. Iowa does not play that slow. They don't play the Drake style slow, where it's like, it's unwatchable almost.
As I say, do you think it's just coached in Iowa, like as an entire department, like we just don't want to score? Football, basketball, it doesn't, like we're just not going to score. Is that an Iowa problem?
Yeah, defense first. Keep the ball out of their hands, I guess. It doesn't really work, but
all right. We've mentioned this team. Currently the number 1 team in the nation, probably not going to be the number 1 team in the nation come Monday when new polls come out, barring anything weird happening on the Saturday we're talking about. But Texas Tech heading over to Arizona. What are you seeing? I'll say I do have a line that I have on this one. I'm seeing Arizona -9.5. I'm seeing a total at 155.5.
Yeah, so
which seems low to me.
Coming off that loss is a bounce back spot for them, for Zona, especially losing to Kansas without Peterson's kind of just, it's a kick to the midsection for them. But Texas Tech did not have Christian Anderson. That was big. Now he's back, so you can give Tech a little bit of a boost. Again, this is another game that's like, it's going to be auto over, I think. At 156, they show. I have 163. Both play very fast. Both are fully healthy. Both these teams outside of Anderson have been extremely healthy this season, and it's been leading to a lot of points. So yeah, lean over there. And if I had to pick a side, it'd probably be Tech.
You think they keep it close?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the health thing. Like that's always a factor, but I'm starting to wonder, like with this new NIL era, and I don't want to go too far down like this different rabbit hole, but like how depth starts to play in, because like teams are going out and they're getting the pieces they need. Like we know that, but then like what do you have on depth when someone goes down? What's there? And like obviously the mid-major level where I'm most comfortable, like you see it even more, but depth is really an interesting conversation that I don't see a lot of people talk about yet in this NIL era, where you're going out and getting your top 5 or 6 pieces, but are you paying enough to be able to hold that through and, give them a breather, or if someone goes down, what's left?
Yeah, there's a large talent gap. And pretty much every year in college basketball, you'll see the teams that are ranked at the top were probably the most healthy because the injuries broke their way. And the teams at the bottom who underperformed, they just didn't break their way. But yeah, both these teams have had the injury luck in their favor. And that's just been scoring. Zona's putting up massive points. So
I think that's you tell me, actually. Is it accurate to say that's something that the books don't always catch is kind of where things are at on an injury standpoint more in real time? We're even seeing teams putting out like depth, or not depth charts. What I want to say, status reports and things. Like, do you think that's something that gives you a potential advantage over a book?
Yeah, it's also harder to put a value on a college player than like an NBA player. There's just less data on that, especially like a freshman. You just don't really, you have a general idea what they're worth in the point spread, but we know pretty much to a T exactly what LeBron or Luka is to the point spread in the NBA. So yeah, you can find an angle on that. There's also just less information on Twitter, online, anywhere where you can find out who is actually playing or not. So if you can somehow get ahead of the market on the injury news and say, no, this player is not questionable, he's probable, we'll upgrade this team. So you get ahead, but good luck in the NBA doing that, which is why I don't do the NBA. So, but yeah, I mean, college it's just easier to do that.
That makes great sense. What are you seeing? Couple more on the Saturday. I told you it was a loaded slate, which I love, because again, we're just getting to watch you run this stuff. And then if you watch this stream and you're not like, I believe in this dude, like I can see that he's not just pulling things out of midair. Like, I don't know what you're looking for. So how about Georgetown and UConn? That's a 8 p.m. Eastern game is what I'm seeing it at. Georgetown heading to UConn. Georgetown, not a great team, but not as bad as they once were. I mean, seem to be heading the right-ish direction as a program.
Yeah, I think they've been really lucky too. Yeah, they are the 10th most lucky team. So maybe it's kind of deceiving to the eye. And then UConn, I think, is like middle of the road. I believe this number is a little too short for me. I have it at 18, 81 to 63. So it's a little short as well. I don't know. UConn, they can take a peek at what they've been up to lately. Let's take a peek. Georgetown is coming off a loss up against Nova. That's right. Yep. Yeah, probably. I'm seeing some 15.5s right now. It's going to probably shoot up to 18 by tomorrow. But yeah, UConn right now. They're the number 3 team for me, I believe. Oh, number 4, but they're ranked 6, so a little underrated.
Hold on. As I'm listening to you, I'm going to do you a favor here. Do us a favor. Excuse me. I'm going to drop your link into this chat here, because if I'm not mistaken, I've got a $20 off promo with you.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here talking about how if you haven't tapped into Bet Sharper yet, like why? So here's a better reason to post on that here. Dude is just using numbers. Like, what more do you want from somebody if you're trusting them to like get you to the right spot, right?
I know a lot of people are like, break this game down for me, break this down. Well, I'm not going to really be able to do that completely because I can't break down every single element of a game ever. If you're using a model that actually uses stats that matter, shot quality, offensive and defensive adjusted efficiencies, you're going to encapsulate more information in that number than I ever would trying to explain to you why this team is going to cover. Or, I can try using the data that I have, but it's already in the computer, so.
I love data.
So for the people that trust the numbers and are willing to ride that out over a large sample, do reap the rewards of that.
Facts are better than opinions. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm not good with them though. That's where you come in, because I'm terrible at math and numbers. And here we have someone who's data scientist. Like, hey, let's take our what we've learned and apply it to sports cap. And like, yeah. Great.
I was going to be an actuary, but I turned it into sports betting, which, yeah.
Which one do you think is more fun?
Sports betting by far, yeah. Actuary doesn't sound fun. I know that it pays well, but I don't know. Don't know about that anymore.
How about number 15 Virginia going to Ohio State? A little bit of a a weird out of conference matchup here.
Definitely Ohio State at 4.5. I'm showing 3.5, but that's not even including the Ohio State extra home court advantage with a ranked team coming to town. Virginia cannot be the 15th best team. There is just no way. 24 for me. Out of conference, I'm pretty much always just going to take the Big Ten here. Also, Ohio State looked pretty bad at the end of their last game, so it's a good spot for them. They were down, I believe. Who did they beat? It was UVA's also won like 8 in a row here. Yeah, USC is not good either. So it's a good bounce back spot. UVA back on the road. Ohio State's still home, so they have that travel advantage. Yeah, plus 4.5. That might go out to the subscribers tomorrow. We'll see.
Love that little tease there. I see you. It's weird to me to play a non-conference game at this time of the year too. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
conference tourneys starting shortly here. I guess it makes some sense, but still not really.
Did you see we had our very first team eliminated from postseason contention yesterday?
No,
our very first team was eliminated. Coming out of the Ohio Valley Conference, Western Illinois will not be joining us because they did not even qualify for their conference tournament as of yesterday. Thank you for participating in 2026, Western Illinois.
Oh God, I've got a high school buddy that played there. That is rough.
Macomb, Illinois is not somewhere that you would like go out of your way to go travel to. You're like,
no, not at all. This is the only offer that he had, so that's kind of why he ended up there.
D1 offer is a D1 offer. Don't get me wrong, but like, whew, yeah, they were eliminated yesterday. Fun time and fun time for college basketball. Like I said, we're a couple weeks from March. Love that. Two more. You got time for two more for me?
Yep, of course.
Beautiful. Yep. Auburn going to Arkansas. We had mentioned Calipari earlier today. Here's the new school, all that good stuff. Auburn, not a terrible team, under 500 in the SEC though.
So I was kind of excited about this one because they're number 24 in my rankings. The next closest 10-loss team in the rankings is all the way down at 52, and that's Cincinnati. So they are losing such close games. They are getting extremely unlucky, and this is just deflating their price. And then Arkansas, who can't play any defense, got this at 87 to 84. That is Auburn right off the bat. But here's the thing: people are going to see this and say, "How is Arkansas only 6.5? Auburn's been bad." Just not true. This is where the data shows you the facts compared to what you actually think you see on the TV. So definitely Auburn. Auburn money line might actually be worth a poke here. Looks like plus 250. Yeah, if they win this game, I'm not surprised at all.
Again, just watching how your head takes the numbers and what to do with it. I think that's great, man. All right, last one, and of all the games on the Saturday slate in the top 25, this is the one that I'm selfishly most excited about. Personally, most excited about because I love some WCC basketball. You know, like it's always on late. I mean, I'm Mountain Time, so it's not super late. But I remember like living on the East Coast. It's like 10 o'clock at night and games are tipped, and you're like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And you've got two just perennial good basketball teams. You got Gonzaga going to Santa Clara here.
They're not quite St. Mary's. Santa Clara is pretty close though to St. Mary's. Who won that matchup anyway? Was it Gonzaga? I think it was Gonzaga. Yeah. Now this is kind of a weird one. It's gonna seem like square. Seems like a really short line where the obvious side is Santa Clara for like the sharp people out there. I think they set it a little too short though. I've got it at 6. That's still really close though. That would be just a 9-point difference on a neutral for a team that does not get talked about at all. Santa Clara. They're the number 50 team for me. Like it's a team that if they were to somehow make the tournament, they could actually make a really good run.
They've got a good.
The line is short, but Santa Clara could win outright.
I think Santa Clara's got a great chance to possibly even take the conference tournament and get that auto bid too. You know, they're 22-5, 13-1 in conference. They're a good, like you said, they're not St. Mary's, they're not Gonzaga. They get overshadowed by those two teams regularly, but at the same time, it's a really good program.
Yeah, they're the third best team in the conference, 100%. But if they're only plus 3.5 at home, 6.5 on a neutral, and then probably like a point or two lower than St. Mary's, yeah, they could win their conference tournament and grab I don't know, 12 seed and beat some teams. So
But that gets us into, you know, some of the conversations we're going to have in the next couple of weeks getting into conference tournament time. But this was just a great Saturday of basketball. I saw a question come in where I'm going to put you on the spot because you didn't prep this. Someone said, what should we bet tonight? So we're recording on Friday. Do you have one game for Friday? You don't have to give your whole Friday away or anything. One game that you're looking forward to tonight.
Just making sure this line hasn't moved for you guys. It has not. So I'm on day 8 of the ladder challenge right now. Actually, you can check that out here on my Twitter account too. It's turning $20 into $10,000. We have 2 more days to go, which is wild. We've already done it once. Tonight we're going with Columbia and Penn over 147.5. My model is showing 154, so it's a good value there. I wouldn't bet it past 148 though. I think we can squeak it over and get on to day 9, the final day.
Ladder challenge, man. That's you're right there on the cusp. I love it. All right, yeah. I said I was done. I'm gonna bleed you for one more because I almost feel like I'd be remiss to not. You had mentioned at the top of this stream you like the MAC. So if I didn't at least ask you, does Miami keep rolling and keep the undefeated tonight? I'd be silly. What do you got? My Ohio going to Miami, undefeated Miami, top 25 Miami. I'm not going to call them Miami, Ohio. That's just Miami.
It's just the real Miami, yeah. I got to go back to tonight. Give me a moment.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot. I'm making you give away all the good stuff, but like you like the MAC. I like mid-major basketball a ton. If I didn't ask you, I think I'd be stupid.
So you kind of do have to weigh coaches' poll in these mid-major conferences, I think, more than other conferences. Ohio is supposed to be better than Miami according to the coaches' poll coming into the season. That's worth something. Looks like the line was 12.5. It's dipped down to 9.5, which I agree with the movement because I'm showing 9 here. And a couple of sharp spots are at 9 actually. So right now it's Ohio plus 9.5. 22% chance Ohio wins outright, so it's not high. But again, Miami's offense is just so damn good that I don't really know. They're just you have to hit your shots to beat Miami. It is what it is.
Whoever thought we'd be sitting here having a conversation about have to hit your shots to beat Miami, undefeated Miami.
Yeah.
I love college basketball.
There's been talk about them not even being able to make the tournament if they don't win their conference tournament. Will the Miami even get in? It's interesting. It's the number 46 team for me. They're undefeated and they're only number 46, but it's because they've had the 310 strength of schedule. They just haven't played anybody, so.
But they're running the conference right now.
They are. I mean, they're winning the games that they've been scheduled to do, but they just aren't playing anybody. So
I love it. Well, Bet Sharper, thank you so much for coming on with me. I mean, again, I'm pretty stupid, so to have someone smart like you come on with me is already a big win for us, for Dub Club, for college basketball. Anyone who's looking to really cash in here, our man Bet Sharper, he's not just pulling out of thin air. He's got the numbers, he's got the stats. He's smart. And man, what a great place to start.
Yep. Appreciate you, Matt. Thank you guys for listening in. I can't see how many people are watching, but however.
I don't know. I didn't even look. I was afraid to look because I'm just so infatuated with you throwing numbers at me and trying to keep up. So hopefully people are grabbing something from this. Again, I dropped that link. We'll spit that out in a few other places. You're offering $20 off right now. What a good deal to tap in right before March Madness.
Yep. Tail those ladders, drop a follow. Those are free every day for you guys, those ladders. The straight plays on Dub Club obviously aren't going to be free, but even if you just want the free plays, just follow the Twitter.
Awesome. Anything else before I let you go? Anything else you want to tell the people?
Don't think so. No.
Awesome. All right, man. I really appreciate it. And we're going to try to get you on again here about getting into NCAA tournament. It's almost March. It's time.
And then baseball is my wheelhouse, believe it or not. Yeah. So opening day, I believe, is like March 26th. So
pitchers and catchers just reported, you know, it's coming. Things are good.
got the Cubs hat on yearly or all year, you know. So
You know, I'm a Tigers guy because again I'm from Michigan originally, so that new rotation gets me excited for baseball. So we'll get to that one.
yeah,
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
all right.
There you go.